Good afternoon, everyone. Chairman Kennedy, distinguished members of the Veterans and Military Affairs Committee. My name is Eric Olivas, and I'm a board member of the Colorado Immigrants' Rights Coalition. Our organization strives to improve the lives of immigrants and refugees by making Colorado a more welcoming, immigrant-friendly state. We strive to make a difference in the community through nonpartisan civic engagement, public education, and advocating for workable, fair, and humane immigration policies. The Colorado Immigrants' Rights Coalition is an active member of the executive committees of several national alliances working effectively in the immigration rights movement. Today, the Colorado Immigrants' Rights Coalition is asking for your support of House Bill 1124, a bill that would help protect Colorado residents from federal government overreach. Our state is the nation's new immigration hub. As we all know, Colorado is a majestic state with prosperous opportunities for all, and where locals are very welcoming. Colorado has a rich immigrant history. Since the foundation of its statehood in 1876, having originally published the state's constitution from English to Spanish and German. 1 in 10 Colorado residents are immigrants. At the same rate, native-born children in the U.S. have one immigrant parent. More than 540,000 immigrants live in the state of Colorado, of which 328,000 are non-citizens potentially at risk of deportation. Colorado immigrant-led households have an estimated $12.1 billion in spending power. Immigrants contributed to the state's economy $1.2 billion in combined state and local taxes. Undocumented immigrants contributed annually with $415 million in local, state, and federal taxes, and have a combined disposable income of $3.4 billion. Undocumented immigrants do not have access to welfare programs. The number of national deportations in 2018 was 552,000, of which 80,000 occurred because of a minor traffic stop. Of the 328,000 at risk of deportation members of the community in Colorado, 2,755 were deported in 2018 from our state. The immigrant community lives in fear. For as long as there continues to be hostile rhetoric addressing immigration policy from the federal government, the immigrant community in Colorado who happens to be undocumented will continue to live in fear. Recently, my grandmother went through a leukemia cancer scare. I'd never taken the time to understand how cancer works until I was affected by it. Cancer occurs as abnormal cells lose the ability to follow in the control of the body, making the individual fall ill. Fear is a cancerous cell that spreads through the immigrant community. When individuals in the immigrant community feel targeted, fear keeps them from living a normal life. Fear becomes prevalent, keeping immigrants from trusting public officials in the time of need. It keeps people from going to work, going to school, and from contributing to the economy. Fear puts people at risk and places public safety in jeopardy. Opponents of this bill would argue that any undocumented individual who is arrested should be deported. This is not how our justice system works. Under the Fourth Amendment, all individuals have the right to a due process. Deportation and family separation create toxic stress and have long-lasting traumatic effects on individuals. We're better than this. Our American values are values of a nation built by immigrants. When members of the community do not fear reaching out to public officials for help, it keeps us all safer. We must put inhumane immigrant policies to rest and instead work to improve the lives of immigrants and refugees by making Colorado a more welcoming, immigrant-friendly state. I urge you to vote in favor of House Bill 1124 and help protect the most vulnerable from federal government overreach. Thank you for your attention and work on behalf of the immigrant community.